What?
Popeye. Okay, we're live. Hi, welcome to the Bubba, and
And the Filipino show.
thank you. Tonight we will be talking about Bitcoin, among other things.
Hmm.
And also, too, I'd like to take a few moments for starters and um, talk a little bit about what happened here in Davao with the NCCC mall catching on fire. 37 people died in it, and it's you know our thoughts and our prayers go out to those families um, and the victims because it happened on the 23rd, of course, and they were looking forward to spending time with their families, and a time that was supposed to be of great joy has was instead turned into a time of great sorrow. And our thoughts and prayers go out to them.
Hmm.
It's a real tragedy. Uh, I also used to do my grocery shopping there, so it's kind of a double whammy for me.
Yeah. Okay.
You there, Ken?
Huh? Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, you're quiet. Feel
Huh?
free to jump in.
I don't know what to say. I just heard it, a while ago, and I really feel sad for those families who lost their loved ones in a festive season like this. Um, I think we can only um give their give prayers for their souls to rest in peace and you know
Yeah, I've been in there many, many, many times.
mm,
Um, because I always went there to do my grocery shopping, and right across the street
mm,
from it as well is S&R. So it was kind of nice.
mm,
So
mm.
I could go to either or, and S&R has really good pizza.
Yeah,
So
I've
I,
also been there. I did some shopping because
uh,
as compared to other malls, that mall has cheaper goods than other malls.
yes, it does. Most definitely.
Mm.
Uh, that and the aircon is really nice in there too.
Yeah, my my condolences to all the families. Um, I can only pray for the people who have been inside the building who unfortunately did not get a chance to evacuate. They said, the news said that apparently building has not enough fire exit and uh, air a ventilation system that is proportional to the area of the mall.
Okay, well yeah,
Have you observed the news?
it's not good. Like I said, I would think they would have like an automatic sprinkler system or something like that, and evidently they don't.
Then,
I guess. I mean,
hmm,
I don't ever really remember seeing one in there because in America, when you go to a commercial business, they all have sprinkler systems because they usually have that real crappy looking office
uh-huh.
roofing tile. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the drop down
Hmm.
ceiling, and they'll have sprinklers coming out of there.
We have
So,
a we have a ventilation system in our new building where the clinic um is located. I think it's probably because also that what I was telling you a while ago. The building is an old building. I'm not sure if they had that kind of strict regulations as to the building codes and everything of that sort.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure either about the building codes here or the what the fire codes are, what's required, what's not,
Yeah. And
and
we
that
don't know what happened. Oh, okay.
and that
Sorry.
stuff. So it's really a shame that happened.
Uh,
Um,
but
anyway,
it's a
go ahead.
little bit it's a little bit puzzling for me because this happened 8:30 a.m. So I'm not sure if they had some kind of a stampede or some kind of a blockage because the news also said that there, there were renovations ongoing on that third floor.
Mm-hmm.
And not really sure what happened because I this a call out for all the Filipinos, but for everyone to know the emergency procedures when those events happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most dangerous cause of that kind of an event is that you the chance that you have lack of oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the primary cause. It's not actually the what do you call this? It's not actually mm, caught in fire, but actually people losing oxygen to breathe. So what we were taught when we had military training when we were high school is that you have to be calm. You have to organize everyone to duck down because oxygen exists readily more in lower altitude than higher. So the fire goes on the roofs and all the carbon dioxide and then the oxygen exists on the floor. So I'm not sure what really happened, but I think um, a lot of I think it is a call out for all establishment, businesses or private or government to let people informed of the uh, what do you call this standard operating
Procedure.
standard procedures. Yeah, sorry, standard procedures when those events happen. Not just for fires, also for earthquakes, uh, flood, those kinds of stuff. So I think
Mm-hmm.
we all have to learn from these kinds of events and strict regulations to the building codes because you never really you never really know until these kinds of events occur. So I think we have to learn from this
I
happening.
agree. So
Have you ever briefed whenever those kinds of natural calamities occur?
kind of, like if there's an earthquake, you
Was
should
that
always get
included?
on.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Was that included in your high school or
Yeah, when I was a kid, we would have fire drills and things like that when I was in school.
but no one really takes it seriously, huh?
Well, it was kind of cool. I remember one time we had one
Yeah.
during a big test.
So you had an
Maybe,
excuse to go out of the room.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat? Can you say it again, dear?
You had huh?
Can you say that
You had
again?
you had an excuse to go out of your room.
Yeah, it was great.
classroom.
We always liked fire drills
Yeah.
because we got away from schoolwork.
True. Mhm.
So, how
Yeah. So yeah, that.
about you? Did you have those here?
Oh, yeah, we did a lot. Um, I was telling you a while ago about the fire training. It was required on our third year and our fourth year, and we were briefed. We were told about a lot of life skills integrated in our curriculum. Um, Fire drills, earthquake drills, CPR. Um, what else? Were you taught how to do CPR?
Yeah, but I don't
First
remember
aid?
much about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff too.
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, map readings, a lot of those stuff. Oh, survival stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So,
if yeah, that okay.
okay, well, today we were supposed to have a guest on Bitcoin, but he hasn't showed up. I don't think. So, we would just, okay, you did some reading.
Mhm.
And what is your opinion of it, and what do you think about it?
Okay. So I'm not really an expert on this because as what I've said earlier, I just read about it when I got home because I want to have a few questions about this Bitcoin because I had whenever I come across a topic I'm not really familiar with, I want to know more about it before I invest because I have a friend and he says to invest in Bitcoins, but before I invest my savings on something that is not, I have to read more about this Bitcoin. So I found out that are
Could you turn the volume up on your mic a little bit, dear, or get it
hello,
closer to your mouth? Okay,
hello.
better,
How about this?
much better.
Is this better?
Oh, it's much better.
Okay, so it has to be near.
Yeah, you need to swallow it. I mean,
Okay, now is this better?
yes, much
Okay,
much better.
so yeah, I read a little bit on this Bitcoin. Um, so Bitcoin they say is a cryptocurrency. It means it's not tangible. These are just lines of codes that apparently hold some kind of a monetary value. So those lines of codes are, they said, created by electricity and high performance computers.
Hmm.
I'm not really sure how this system goes, but they said that this digital currency is um, created by, they say, computations,
Hmm.
and this is regulated by millions of computers who are called miners, like um, computers who mine these cryptocurrencies. So when you say crypto, it actually means like codes, cryptography. Are you familiar with that?
Hmm.
Yeah, so they send keys through um, specific codes. You know, okay. So one advantage of this is that they say it can be stored offline in a personal hardware. I'm not really sure how this works because I have not really encountered this, but one friend paid paid what he owed me through this Bitcoin. So it actually exists, but it exists more online, which means it does not have a, you can't hold it, but you can trade it. Okay. So these so the so you since it exists online, you can store it on a hardware. So it kind of protects it from getting taken by others. Okay. So this this Bitcoin, it has a lot of advantage, but it also comes with a lot of disadvantages because this as long as people are trying to mine for Bitcoins, people are also 24/7 trying to hack into someone's wallet, into someone's digital wallet. So when a hacker gains access on your wallet, you may simply lose your bitcoins forever.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get it? It does not require like whenever one someone robs a bank, they risk themselves getting caught in a gun battle with the police or like an alarm. This kind of currency, when it's online, it has also comes with it the risks of um, getting stolen by others. So they say that estimated 30 billion bitcoins have been lost or misplaced. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this bitcoins, although kind of it has that kind of what do you call this uh, risk, it also is not regulated by taxmen.
And that's the
Okay,
beautiful
okay.
part
So
about it.
they can, yeah. So this is why it has a lot of controversy goes along with it because they said that this was used to transact market agendas, some kind of like that. I just heard because a lot believes in bitcoins because they gain from it. So is what do you call this? Not does not believe on the how bitcoins work. I can't really say because as I've said, I just read it right now. So this goes beyond the regulation or control of the bank, the government, the police, or any kind of financial institution. So they say that as compared to the regular money that we have, physical paper money or coin, this bitcoins can is not does not have a regulated value. So it kind of screws up with the with the printed out money that we have because some like it mixes with government produced money.
Mm-hmm.
Did you,
Fiat
did you get it?
currency.
Currencies are yeah. So these bitcoins have uh self-contained value, being your gold coins. They can be traded with anyone, with any kind of purchase. You know what? The person who invented this kind of currencies,
Satoshi.
really, really, really smart.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
So,
knows who he is.
What's up,
oh,
bro?
How we
he's
doing? How we doing?
here.
Jason.
This is a different guy.
Okay, okay.
Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi
Okay,
Nakamoto. Nobody knows who he is. They don't even know if it's a person
okay.
or
Oh
multiple
yeah, there
people.
is someone who knows more. Okay.
They know nothing about who it is, who he is,
Uh-huh.
anything. But this person has 1 million Bitcoin, which is 5% of the current Bitcoin that are out that will be out in circulation. So if you compare it
Will be
to,
out.
yes, will be out, and that will stop in. Oh my goodness, I'm a little out of it right now. I think
I think 21
2140.
billion.
Oh no! I know it's
Tw-
2140, but it'll stop. The last Bitcoin will be mined
2040,
in,
yeah.
yeah, 2040. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Um, and
Have you had any personal experience on trading bitcoins? Hello,
Me?
Baba.
Oh, I do own
Oh,
some Bitcoin. Yes. I
okay.
thought.
And
Well, I
then,
thought Jason
what
was
are your
still here.
what was your personal experience with the trading bitcoins? Because I just heard from someone. I'm not sure if that's how it works. So there, some those who are large owners of these bitcoins tries to manipulate the and um and then short sells it.
Hmm.
I'm not really, yeah. So
No, I've never really
go ahead.
traded it, but
Mm,
I invested and I do own some Bitcoin.
mm,
so I don't know what happened.
I don't know, man.
mm.
Just got booted
I
off.
don't know.
I got
Just there.
I got
Can you use it?
okay. Go. What
Mm,
was what did you hear? Because I went on a tangent and
Oh,
me or
you were talking about Satoshi, and and the last thing was the last Bitcoin will be mined in.
oh yeah, 2040.
2040.
Yeah. Um, and if you look at it, I mean,
Mm,
the more that people use Bitcoin, the more stronger that Bitcoin will get. I mean, that's just the rule of business. The more somebody's actually using something or going to a company and buying
mm,
something, it's going to be a stronger company. That's just business 101 there. Um,
okay.
but with cryptocurrency, you are at risk because you are the bank at that point.
Mm,
You are the regulator. You have to know who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with somebody that you don't know or that's over in a different country or something like that,
mm.
then you're going to have to know what you're getting into and know what you're doing. If you
He must have a bad connection.
Oh,
He got kicked off
hey.
what's
again.
going
There
on?
he is.
What is going on?
I don't know.
That's why. Okay,
What
that's why
is,
I was
I don't know
wondering.
what I don't know if it's my internet or what, man.
Okay. So I'm not really sure how these miners are regulated. So would can anyone be just can anyone be a miner, or
Hmm.
are there
I'm
companies who are
You just have to buy
it's
the
regulating like
equipment.
miners?
you just have to
Huh?
have, I mean, you can do it a couple different ways. You can have
Mm,
an ASIC miner or a GPU based miner, which will be a graphics card in a computer.
oh,
I'm
is
actually
that expensive?
it can be. It depends on what scale
Okay.
you want to do it at. I'm actually mining right now as
Mm.
we speak.
Oh, okay. So,
And I have made
who regulates
and
this?
I have made right now I've made I'm at um $9.04 that I've made right now mining.
Mm.
And how
And
long have you been mining?
it's been on for roughly about 8 hours.
So like a
Oh,
dollar an
so
hour.
does it
Roughly
have like
a dollar five an hour.
the same as?
Depending on what
Mm,
what stuff you have. I mean, I have a high end GPU.
So does it have like a public, uh, just the same as the stocks? Um,
Um,
you
those are
can
the
just
things.
view it in
Those are the
a website.
Yeah. They have exchanges, and those are the
Oh, okay.
things that are at risk. And that's
Those,
when people lose
those that are
money
okay.
because they put the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency. Doesn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin itself. It can be Bitcoin. It could be Ethereum. It could be um, Litecoin. There's over 800 different types of currencies. But the most popular is Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and there's another one
Oh,
that
okay.
Doge,
loses my mind.
like Dogecoin or
Are
something.
those big
Doge.
companies?
Doge is not too popular. I mean, it's not too valuable. Um, but those are the top three. If you want to look at it, it's like gold, silver, and copper. Those three.
Oh, okay.
And what people do is they put it on the exchange, and
Mm-hmm.
um, people buy these just like stocks. It's the same setup as the stock market. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and but they have a wallet on that exchange, and people hack into the exchange because the exchanges think that they're so secured, but they're really not. And they get a big one just got hacked in South Korea, um, and and a company back
Probably by
on
North Korea.
South. Did I say probably? Yeah, probably by North Korea. Um,
Mm-hmm. By not
um,
really?
also, also there was a company called Nice Hash that was hacked
Mm-hmm.
um, on the 6th, and I actually
Mm-hmm.
lost some money, but
Mm-hmm.
they're going to make good on it, and they're going to pay all the people that were that had a certain dollar amount or a certain Bitcoin amount and above. They're going to repay them back. But some companies like Mount Gal actually um, actually just totally went under, and a lot of people lost money. I mean, I've lost a wallet. I used to mine back
Okay.
in 2012,
Mm-hmm.
2013, and I just left a wallet and I totally forgot about it. I had about a half a Bitcoin in there.
How much is a Bitcoin now?
Last time I checked, it was 15,000 a Bitcoin USD.
When you bought it, how much was it?
Oh, I would have
Can you
had
remember?
right now. Right now, I would have
No,
had
before.
7,000.
Oh, okay. So recently, has it had any crash in value, or are we talking about like the Bitcoin? Does it have like a same value for everyone else around the world, or you know?
Yeah, I mean the values is it is what it is. I mean it's 15 fifth right now as we speak it's 15,590 per US dollar.
Oh.
And you
Mhm.
can value it off that way. I mean you could switch the currency and it would go to that currency. Like you can translate it into euros, pesos, whatever you want.
That'd be
And
almost a
it'll
million pesos.
So,
That'd be like 750 million pesos.
shucks, mahal, expensive,
yeah.
mahal in Filipino. Anyway, so you're only
It
if you
it,
have
it
not
had a
you
crack.
don't have that big money, you only own like
No, you can get into Bitcoin with
mm.
um at
$10.
And okay. Okay, so are your bitcoins handled
oh my
by a
goodness, I don't know what's
certain
going on.
company, or are you
Um
handling it?
you could start. Did you hear me? You could start with a little bit of with the as little as $100 US.
Okay.
Be about
Okay.
5,000 pesos.
Are you handling it yourself, or are you having like
No, I do it
middleman or
myself.
something? Okay.
No. I after the hack on the company Nice Hash, I'm not
Mm.
I'm not dealing with anybody's wallet. I'm dealing with my own wallet.
Okay.
And you were talking about the hardware wallets. The hardware wallet is is basically a device. It hooks up through USB. It transfers
Mm-hmm.
onto this little basically this little USB stick, or there's different types, and that's where it stays.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay.
and it has no internet connection. It has no connection until you connect it to a computer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a hardware wallet.
Okay.
as opposed to a blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the blockchain is what Bitcoin is based off of. That's the algorithms, and that's what everything is running. I mean, that's a blockchain. That's what a blockchain is.
Oh, can you tell me more about the this blockchain?
Um,
I'm just curious.
that's a hard one to get into. That's a
Interesting.
hard one to get into because blockchain is an algorithm, and algorithms it's what's being.
As many as it can get.
Yeah, I mean that's it can get very
These are
difficult
the
to solve.
these are the mathematical computations
Right.
that.
That's the blockchain.
Oh, okay. Wow, more complicated
Basically,
than that.
basically, it's a digit. It's like letters and numbers, and it could be like 20, 25
Mm-hmm.
letters and numbers long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, and
So, uh,
go ahead.
how do they secure? It's also like securing a website.
Yeah, I mean it's they just have to have the right um 256 bit security on their what do you call it? Even that's not
Mm-hmm.
secure. I mean, nothing on the internet is really secure.
Physically secure. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, even banks get I mean there hasn't been any hacks that we know of, but they have hacked into banks.
Okay. So have you ever transacted with this kind of a hard drive? Because they said that this offline method is more hacker resistant.
Yeah,
Have
because
you ever experienced trading or whatever transacting with a hard drive or USB
with the hardware wallet.
or that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. That's all I do now.
Oh.
It goes into a wallet on my computer, and then I take it
Okay.
from my wallet and from my computer, and I transfer it into the hardware wallet.
Huh? Okay.
Because once again, my computer's not safe. Even your
Uh-huh.
phone's not safe. You can get a wallet on your phone also, but therefore your phone is connected to the internet, so people can actually get into your phone.
Okay.
But and there's something that you said earlier about um, you kind of touched on it about the banks, how you can like I guess you can kind of get your money back from the banks if like a fraudulent transaction happened.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's only up to like $100,000.
here in the U.S., you do have the FDI insurance, but
Insurance.
they can take in the U.S. I don't know how it is in the Philippines. They can
Mm-hmm.
take up to 100 years to pay you back. They don't have to. They don't have. I used to work at a bank. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have to pay
And
you
then,
back immediately.
oh,
And just like and another thing, a lot of people are saying, oh well, it's not real money. It's not this. Our money is not even real money because it's
mm-hmm.
not backed by anything.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's fiat currency.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's basically the
In a
same
way,
thing
it's almost
in a
the same,
way
except
as
it's not
Bitcoin.
physically present.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it now.
And
Here
and
in the,
and
I sorry.
you can get um credit cards and debit cards. Actually not credit cards, but debit cards that are
Mm-hmm.
attached to a wallet that you have, and you can
Mm-hmm.
use it this one card that I know of, you can use it at over 200 countries, I believe, and
Mm.
it will automatically transfer into that currency for the transaction that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pull out with that card at the ATMs. You can pull out up to 20,000 um, of that currency of whatever it is. Well, I mean, $20 US because everything. A lot of these cards are based off of US currency. 20,000, whatever equates to 20,000 in that country. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to still conduct your business the same way that you're doing right now in your regular everyday transactions, the same way with Bitcoin.
Mm. Okay. So are there a lot of companies who are already accepting
It's
cryptocurrency?
getting
Yeah,
it's
that.
getting more and more. Yes, China has that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much all they have a similar um, transaction
Mm-hmm.
like Bitcoins. They're going like even the homeless people in China. They have phones how that's how they get their money. And when people are walking by, they just scan their
Wow.
phone, and that's how he gets his money.
Oh.
So China is starting to go to the more digital base.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you pay using these bitcoins, are there any kind of delays?
Bitcoin does have a delay, especially now that Bitcoin has been on a
Right
rise.
now.
Huh? What was that?
Hello.
Well, you kind of cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry. Why is it emphasized that especially now?
Because people are because the rise of Bitcoin, more people are getting into it, so it's flooding the system, and there's a lot of transactions going on. And another reason being that I want to say 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was 2 weeks ago or about a week ago, um, the U.S. stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, started to do buy and sell futures on Bitcoin. And are you familiar with futures at all?
No.
Futures are
I just heard
basically
bitcoins like
fu-
2 weeks or 3 weeks ago.
futures are basically this is it has not the futures has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Futures are more in the stocks. Futures are basically they um like me. I can say,
Mm,
hey, I want to buy a contract saying that Bitcoin is going to be at, let's say, 20,000
mm.
in X amount of time, and
Oh,
they'll create a contract of this,
that, okay. Okay, so
and
that's
if
like a
it
projection.
right if it goes that high, then I get paid out,
Mm,
or if it
mm,
goes lower, then I lose out on that money. That's what happened with this group of guys
Oh,
here
for
in
the
the U.S.
housing bubble.
Right? Exactly.
mhm.
Everybody thought the
Exactly.
guy was nuts. Sure, we'll give you a contract.
Yeah. Everybody thought he was crazy, and he made out.
Okay.
He made out.
So
But
it's at value.
that's with the futures that also injected not really money into the stock market. I mean into Bitcoin, but it's people are hedging their bets either for or against Bitcoin, so that can it's they don't know how that's going to go. It could
Mm,
be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. It could turn out to be the housing market in the US, or it could turn into Google, which
mm.
Google is like, I think, what, I haven't looked at Google stocks in forever.
I haven't either.
Right. So, so what if? Mm, this kind of a so when you have a contract, it has to have uh what do you call this, an agreement with a certain person, and it has to have like a physical copy of that uh
Are you talking about
agreement.
futures?
Yeah. I'm still talking about futures
But that has to
because I'm
you-
I'm also thinking, if what if this projection did not go as projected?
futures. You would buy with the stock exchange.
Oh,
You would deal with a broker at that point. Yeah,
okay.
Google's at 1,050 right now a stock.
Yeah, I just Googled it.
Yeah. Yo, you're not supposed to Google. Breaks the
Google.
internet.
Okay.
It says 1,059.98
Yeah.
minus 0.83%.
I just turned onto the chat. What are they saying in the chat? How can I catch
How
Bitcoin?
can I cash in into coins?
Are you saying how could you buy into coins?
How can I cash
She
in?
someone asked in chat, how can I cash in into coins if I don't have account in Philippines? Well, yeah. Does she need to
Uh,
make another account in the Philippines?
you don't have to be in the Philippines to buy into Bitcoin.
No, you can buy into it anywhere.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Bitcoin and Gridcoin?
I think
Positivecoins.ph.
Grid
7-Eleven.
Gridcoin. Is this like a different cryptocurrency?
Gridcoin.
How would they intersect? Have you heard about Gridcoin?
I have not heard about Gridcoin.
Okay.
Dude, every time I go to a different thing, it like kicks me out.
It just doesn't like you, Jason. But we
It,
do.
it's not liking me right now. I don't know what's going on. Gridcoin is a coin. I'm not too familiar with it. Let me see. The market cap
Mhm.
is at 43 million. Not bad. Volume's at 1 million.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, you
Cash
can.
in.
It's really low to buy into Gridcoin if that's what you're talking about.
Mhm.
It's only 10 cents to buy into one Gridcoin, but
Mhm.
it's up and down.
So in
And
other words, if you spend $1,000 and it went up to 20 cents, you double your money.
right, right. I mean, the highest that it went,
11 cents.
yeah, it's at its highest right now. So
Cents.
I
Okay.
If I actually went into
oh
something
my
other than
goodness.
Bitcoin, I would probably do Litecoin.
I
What's
mean,
that?
everything is based on Bitcoin. Every coin, every currency has morphed off of the algorithm of I mean not the algorithm but the the white paper of yeah the model of Bitcoin. Everything is forked off of that.
Mm.
So I mean
So,
Litecoin it will hit about um I'm saying in 2018 it will hit $500 a coin easy.
okay. So, who regulates this production of uh, coins? Like,
It's it, it's
mm,
not it's it, the miners find them. and the people buy
Mm.
into them. That's how coins are when coins are being found, it's by miners, and it goes in. We miners get paid a portion of the coins that are found and the transactions, and then there's also a ledger, and the
Mm.
ledger is the transaction. Say you and Bubba did a transaction with Bitcoin.
Mm. Mm.
Everybody's going to see that transaction. They're not going to know
Mm.
who it is, what it
Right.
is, where it is.
They
They
only
just know
just
that there's a transaction
okay.
of there was X amount of Bitcoin sent
Mm.
to this wallet from this wallet.
It's privacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that,
It's
which brings up
not
another
even
thought.
privacy
Which
if
brings
it's
It,
up
it,
like publicly shown.
which
Am I
brings
right?
up
it's not
another question.
Is
I
it
it's not
wonder.
public, but it
okay?
is
I
public.
okay. I only read here that it's it's transparent. The transactions are transparent,
Right.
but the people who
Transactions are
are
transparent,
doing the
but the people
transactions,
are exactly. Exactly.
okay. So if are there insurance
No,
like if
you
you
are the
invest
No.
insurance. You are
middle
the insurance.
middleman like
If
that
there is a
kind of
middleman,
deal.
if
Uh-huh.
if there is a middleman, um, yes and no, depending on how what that company's policy is.
Oh, okay. I
Like
understand.
like there's escrow wallets. There's companies that do escrow where you'll send money. Like if you and Bubba are doing a transaction, you'll send money into Bitcoin into a escrow account, and then that company will get that Bitcoin, and then when um it's the transaction is done, then you say, okay, the transaction's done. Then the escrow will release it to Bubba's account.
Which kind of makes you
Mm.
wonder: are people? I wonder how many drug transactions are
I
happening
mean,
with
with that
Bitcoin.
with that being said, I
Yes,
mean it's the same thing with cash,
that's a
but
possibility.
but this is and full disclosure, and I don't condone this, but that's how people can
Launder
get
money.
their exactly, and
Mm-hmm. That's
that's
what I
what
thought.
scares the governments, and
Yeah.
that's why the governments are not really against it because there's nothing that they can do about it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why the governments are kind of against what could go on.
Well, I
Yeah.
think they're more against it though because they can't control it.
And that's another thing.
They
They're not
can't
getting their
trace it.
cut.
Yep, they
They're
can't
not
do
getting
that.
their cut.
They can't institute quantitative easing,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They
crap
can't
like
get
that.
their piece of the pie.
And
They
I
don't.
love it.
They're not getting their sales tax. They're not getting their gas tax. They're not getting any of that.
Mm-hmm. It has pros and cons.
Um. Yeah. I. It's depending on what side of the fence you're looking at. I mean, there. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more pros than cons.
Pros.
It is.
All right.
It is volatile. Yes. Um. But
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, I mean, there's our dollars. I mean, our fiat currency is kind of volatile in so many ways.
Well, yeah, there's
It's
always
not
inflation.
Mm-hmm.
right, and our currencies are always going up and down. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're putting like a dollar against a peso, there's always a fluctuation there, or a dollar against a euro or a pound, and so on and so forth. And it's just the same thing, but with Bitcoin, it's not going against anything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing
So,
that
uh, what does what do you call this? What would say the value of a Bitcoin? Like, does it like some kind of a fundamental factor or technical factor as compared to
it's
stocks?
it's just it would be just like a business. I mean, the more the more people are buying into it, the higher it's going to be.
Oh, so it does not relate to any kind of a
Not that I'm aware of. No,
phenomenon
no,
in one country. Okay.
no,
Okay.
because it's not based off of. I mean, it's not how well the dollar's doing. It's not how well the anything's doing. No.
So technically, more people who are informed about it, the more the value raises up.
Yeah,
That's how I get it.
yeah.
Until it
That
stops
that's
on
how that's
2040.
how. Well, even then, people are still going to be putting money into it because people are born every day,
Yeah.
and if they're getting into crypto, like when they get to an age, like well, once they get into an age and they start transacting, then more money can get into it. I mean, that's just how a business can go. It's basic business 101. Um, I mean, like there was a kid back in what 5 years ago. He was 12 years old, 13 years old. Um, his grandma gave him $500 for his birthday. He put all that into Bitcoin. He has over $3.6 million right now, and he's 18 years old.
Wow.
He has his own apartment in New York, in Manhattan to be exact. And
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan's not a
Cheap place at all to live.
right,
Of
right,
course.
right. So
Okay.
and a lot of people are saying, well, it's too high to get into right now.
Mm.
Um, my forecast when I was looking at how Bitcoin is going, um, and mind you, I was mining the whole time I was looking at it.
Mm.
I estimated it hit 14 by the end of December, 14,000 US,
Mm.
and it did that.
Mm.
And my projection for 2008 at the end of 2018, it's going to be at least 40,000 um 40,000 US uh for one Bitcoin.
Okay. Now, Laban Filipinas, thank you for tuning into the show. She's asking Litecoin and Ethereum, which is better to put money into?
Um
Understand.
Ethereum is more closer to Bitcoin than Litecoin. Litecoin is very popular, but the way I see it, and this is completely my opinion. I see it as Bitcoin being the gold, um,
Or
Ethereum being the
platinum?
silver, or the platinum, and um, Ethereum being the gold or the silver, whatever you want to call it, and um, Litecoin being the bronze or the silver, however you want it to that's how it would go. Um,
Mm.
I feel that there's probably more growth in Ethereum. I think it's probably going to um, and I feel that it's most likely going to rise faster than Litecoin. Litecoin is going to be a steady climb. It is going to climb, but it won't climb faster than Ethereum. I don't feel.
Now, what would you recommend though for slow, steady growth?
Slow, steady growth. It's really cheap to get into. Is Ripple?
Ripple?
Yeah, Ripple coin.
Oh, I've
Um,
never heard of Ripple. Well, when you said Ripple, I was thinking of that Eddie Murphy stand-up routine. Fred G. Sanford.
yeah, no, Ripple coin. Um, it's a coin that, or it's a cryptocurrency that it kind of goes against the whole cryptocurrency field, and the reason why it was made in the first place, because Ripple is actually um, a service that is provided to the banks, and you can buy into it, but it helps
By
the
the
banks.
banks.
It helps the banks send money, large sums of money, fast to foreign countries. They have faster transaction rates than um, than Bitcoin will ever have.
Yeah, LeBron asked the question, how could she turn it into cash? How could she cash in
Um,
her coins? And this is what I do. I go to my account, I cash it out, and I have it wired to myself at Cebuana
Mm.
here.
what you can do it. You can do it on. There's a service. It's called. Oh, let me look it up real quick. I have it saved, but let's see, crypto. It is called. I have so many things on that.
Mm.
It's called Pay It Coins. And what that does is basically it transfers your coin, your Bitcoin, and it pays it to your PayPal. And from your PayPal, you can either, if you have a PayPal debit card or card, or you can transfer it to your bank from your PayPal, or you can get like I said, the they have debit cards that will be linked to a wallet, and you can do it that way. You can go to any ATM all over the world. I think it's, like I said, 200 something countries, and you can go to ATMs and pull out money that way.
Okay.
So if you plan on
So,
traveling out of the country and you don't want to take a bunch of cash with you,
Right. You can do it that. You can do it. You can do it like that, and you really don't have to worry about. Um, yeah, there is going to be a transaction fee. There's always a transaction fee. I mean, you can't get around that. The transaction fees are lower than what your foreign transactions fees will be on your banks. Um, and you get whatever the real market value of that currency that you're pulling out. You're not going to get worked by a money changer, or like if you ever said, if people have ever sent money Western Union is like a couple dollars lower than what it's posted on the actual
mm,
exchange rate,
mm,
and you're not going to get that. You're going to get the actual exchange rate.
man, Western Union screws you, man. They charge you
Oh
for the
yeah,
transaction, and then for converting it, they skim off the top as well.
yeah,
well,
yeah. I mean, with Western Union,
oh, Western Union.
um, it's like $1 is 48, and that's not the transaction. That's not the right exchange rate.
Mm.
So
So
that
anyway,
they do get you. Go ahead.
sorry. I was thinking a while ago because if there is like let's say overproduction or over mining of these bitcoins, because they said you
It's
can only have 40 billion bitcoins by 2040. So what happens if there are different kinds of coins like this these
no
Litecoin,
20
Ethereum,
20 21 million.
sorry, 21 million only.
Yeah.
Litecoin, Ethereum, like if Litecoin also has like a limit, like for example 20 million. So
All of them,
what
every currency has a limit.
has a limit? Okay. So
Yeah.
there are regulating systems
Yeah. That's they are good. They're not gonna
over mine.
start. Yeah, they're not gonna. It's the you can't overmind because the algorithms are getting, they get harder and harder as we
Oh,
progress.
okay. So in a
Um,
way, if this Litecoin or if this Ethereum individually um they also will reach the same amount as to
Not
where
this,
Bitcoin is right now, or not
not this. They
necessarily.
not necessarily the same amount, but they do have a limit. Yes, that they'll
Mm,
reach.
okay, I was only thinking what the effect of this cryptocurrency has on the currency that we have right now, like paper
It
money
has
or
a
something.
big
Yeah,
effect because
what effect? Uh-huh.
it has a huge effect. The reason be is when you are, if let's just say all the Philippines or half of Philippines
Mm,
goes to
okay.
the cryptocurrency base where they're doing every
Yeah.
transaction in cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
What is that going to do to the peso?
It would decrease the value of the peso.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, that was what I was thinking.
You're exactly right.
But the end
Because
result,
the
what that's
Hmm.
going to do, that's going to
Because if
take money out of the. That's going to
there
take.
should be some kind of a balance. I mean,
it,
like a interaction or some kind of a cause effect.
Well, no, in the long run, though, you're taking the power out of the bankers' hands,
the banker and the government, yeah, and
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 that's a
that's
good thing. That's a great
it,
thing.
So so since
go
so
ahead.
since since it can't be traced, or it can't be,
Oh,
the transactions in
it could
cryptocurrency.
be traced. It could be traced, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can see where it goes.
Oh, okay.
You
You
can
just
see
won't see a
Only
completely
the
name.
where.
name.
Yeah, you
Only the
won't see a
name
name.
is not
You won't see
transparent.
nothing. You can't get into that wallet because that wallet is that wallet. I mean, just like okay, the company that got hacked on the sixth, Nice Hash, um,
Okay.
they lost 60 million plus. They lost 4,600 Bitcoin.
Lost, which means it is not traced.
No, they didn't lose it. Somebody hacked it and they put it into
And
their
then,
wallet.
oh, okay.
So they have Nice Hash. I can pull up and look at every transaction that was from Nice Hash to this person's wallet,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see it 4,700 Bitcoin sitting in this person's wallet, whoever these people are sitting in this wallet. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can't say, "Hey, go get my money back."
Mm.
Now, with cybercrime, you can get involved the authorities um, if they can track it, if they know who the person is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if somehow they found out that it was Bubba that did it, then something can be done about it. But it's kind of hard to show that hey, Bubba did it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to show
And
that.
then trace it. Okay.
Right.
There's a lot more different story on, the codes in the computer, which lies behind all the transactions.
Hmm.
Yeah, anyway, I was thinking also. So when you were telling what you were telling a while ago about people here in the Philippines transacting more on cryptocurrency rather than
Hmm.
on physical money, it lessens the value of peso.
Right.
So what happens in the United States? Would you think that someone in the government who had already analyzed or like
It
predicted this can
see
happen, or would they
uh,
want to eradicate this kind of a system
see
soon?
this is the thing. This is the thing. They can Governments can use it as a tool also.
Okay. To
Governments to devalue a currency or value a currency
mm,
because if
okay.
currency if certain countries, which I mean they really can't, but they can try to say we're going to ban cryptocurrency,
Mm,
but they they kind of push it in, let's say, the Philippines, and to where they give them the basically the tools like the infrastructure to accept for companies start to accept this cryptocurrency. And the more that country uses it, then it can devalue the peso, and then that foreign country can, there's a lot of things where you can they can come in, other it could be for travel, it can be for, but then again, when US dollars start coming into the Philippines, then the value will go back up. But there's a lot of things that a government can use it to
Mm-hmm.
either wreck or strengthen a country's currency.
Okay, get it now.
But I don't see the chat. I mean, I can get into the chat. I just, every time I click on a different tab, then I kind of get cut off.
Mm.
Okay, is it even good to use Bitcoin as our currency in the future? Some shops are already accepting
Well,
Bitcoin as a pay or currency, which is very true.
Yeah,
mm,
there's shops. Hey, even here in Texas, man, we have conve- uh, convenience stores. You know, regular gas stations and stuff like that. They have
mm.
ATMs that are strictly based in Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah, you can go to them and buy Bitcoin, and they'll transfer it into any wallet that you have.
So when did this when did this Bitcoin started? When have you first heard about this
I
currency?
heard about it in 2013.
4 years ago. 4 years
Yep.
after it has
Yep.
started circulating.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was, the value was so low then. I was just
Mm-hmm.
like I was just like, meh, this ain't nothing. I'm done with this. I'm not gonna do it anymore. And boy, I'm kicking myself now.
Mm-hmm. So what caused you to shrug it off before? Were you investing in a lot of stocks before?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's I've been in the stock market for years.
Years.
Um, Ever since I started working at the bank, that was back in, or when I was
Oh.
working at the bank, that was back in 2016, or
Uh,
2000, not 2016, 2006. I'm sorry, 2006.
so have you been in contact with those workers in the bank, or are they also investing in this kind of cryptocurrency now?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, I mean, one of the investment guys, he's always been investing in it little by little.
Mm. Okay.
I
So
was
what
I was a
do you
business
think
banker
can?
at JP Morgan Chase.
Okay. What do you think can pull the value of bitcoins down? Because you
What was
said
that?
because
Because of the hacks.
it sorry. Oh, yeah.
Because of the hacks. I mean,
Okay, okay.
that
Uh-huh.
that threw a lot of people, because when you have, let's just say you get into it, and you notice that this company just got hacked, and then you're going to get scared and you're going to pull out.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
And then
that's one thing that happened. Um, but I don't see I don't see it dying off and losing its value.
mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it dropped. It was at 20, almost 20,000 um Bitcoin,
Okay.
and it dropped back down to it. The lowest that it went down to 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went back up to 13, 14,
Mm,
and it's been hovering at 13, 14, 15. Like
mm-hmm.
high, like, when I say 13, I'm talking about like 13,800.
Okay.
Like it's
Okay,
not
okay.
low 13s, it's high 13s, staying in
Mm,
more into the 14,000.
okay. Okay.
There's a lot in that.
Capital.
There's a lot.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
I think CGT capital gain tax comes into it even without the tax.
Mhm.
That's what Laban Filipinas. She's really
Oh,
intelligent.
capital gain tax will only happen
If you
if you
point.
are putting it into your bank.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
If you get a card, like I said, that's tied to a wallet,
Mhm.
there's going to be no capital gain tax
Yep.
because you're not gaining any capital at that point. They can't see what you're transacting,
Okay.
and that's why governments and banks are kind of against it, but
Mhm.
yet they're using it. They don't want you to use it. They want to use it, but they don't. That's just like Chris Rock. If you did you see that stand up, Bubba?
What's that?
Did you see that Chris Rock stand up where I can't remember which one it was? He was talking about the pharmacy companies. He was like, they don't want you to use your drugs. They want you to use
Their drugs.
their drugs.
Yep.
And that's the same thing as the cryptocurrency world is they don't want you to use it. They want to use it to do their business. As I was saying with Ripple, they're using it with Ripple to send money to different countries when they're doing wire transfers and stuff. Large sums of money. They'll do it that way, but they don't want you to use it because they're losing out on that revenue. That's capital gains. And not I mean they're not getting paid the capital gains, but they're losing deposits if you're dealing with Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's anything the government or the bankers. Let's face it. The governments are merely puppets. It's the bankers who really run things. And anything that takes power out of their hands, they are completely against it.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
It,
Uh,
it, it's I mean there's just like um, Morgan Stanley. I don't know if you know it, but I know Bubba. You've heard of it. Morgan Stanley is an investment company. They said they put out a report saying that Bitcoin is basically uh, zero. It has no value, but of course they're. I mean, you got to look at who it's coming from. Bubba.
yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
All right, we lost Ken.
Yeah, she had to go actually. She was just messaging me.
Okay.
So, but yeah, great show today. So I appreciate you coming on. Do
No problem, man. If I didn't sound like too sharp, I mean, I was drinking whiskey all night. So,
what were you drinking?
Jura, it's it's a Scottish, it's a Scottish whiskey, but it's bottled in Scotland, but sold under um Imperador.
Oh, really?
Imperador owns them,
Oh,
and
wow.
I actually bought 3 bottles. I'm a little, but I'm coming out of it now. But I bought 3 bottles when I was there. When I was coming back, I bought 3 bottles.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's I apologize. It was kind of an impromptu thing. We were supposed to have another guest on, but sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You never know what could happen in life. So,
I'm back. The
but
one I was drinking, it has like hints of honey. Real smooth. It has a little bite because it's whiskey.
yeah, I don't. I like Tandawai's not bad from time to time.
I've never had it, so
It's actually won awards and everything too. It's actually not a bad rum at all, really.
rum's not bad.
So,
I
oh,
like
how was your
rum.
Christmas, by the way?
It was good. It was good, man. My what I look forward to is the food,
Yeah, yeah,
and
definitely.
that's why
I,
I got
I
stuff.
actually went over to
Go ahead.
I actually went over to Quintong Blues for Christmas Eve.
Mm,
Spent the night. It was great. Had a lot of fun.
nice, man. That's really good. Like I got I had the food. We had smoked turkey and had
Nice.
that. Got stuff, and started wearing off, and then I jumped into the bottle of whiskey,
Uh,
and then I did a game stream, and I was half lit, half drunk doing this a stream playing a game. So that was fun.
okay.
How was your Christmas?
My Christmas is great, man. I cannot complain. So, and Christmas is great. Double pay. Nice. Now, I guess you live in Australia, but you're Filipino. Laban. I don't even know if I hope I'm saying it right. I should ask Ken.
Let me see. Let me see how to Laban.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Labatt's, the Canadian beer.
I think it's Laban.
Yeah, I think so. But Christmas was great, and I hope everybody else had a great Christmas. And I guess we'll go ahead and close the show. We've been on now for over an hour, so I try to limit. I don't want to go into this 3 or 4 hour shit shows
Yeah, I
like
you
some
know
people.
on a on a yeah, on a better day, if we wanted to touch back on the cryptocurrencies, I have no problem with doing it. Um, I think I did answer the questions that were posed very well. I was just a little inebriated.
That's okay, man. Hey, sometimes it's fun to be inebriated.
Oh, definitely.
So,
I might have slurred my words a couple times. I'm
you
not
did
having a
fine.
stroke or anything.
You did fine, brother. No problem, man. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and close the show. Any closing thoughts there, Jason? And when are you going to start doing a live stream, man?
Um, I don't know if I'm doing. I don't know if I'm gonna get back into doing live stream. I might do. I am gonna be doing some videos. I went heavy into my gaming channel
Okay.
and streaming on Twitch. Um, and I'm gonna be doing. I mean, all my stuff is gonna be live there. Uh, and I'm also gonna be getting my cam and everything and setting that up, building my computer desk. But I'm gonna be doing some YouTube stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing too heavy on the shows because because there is a lot of fucking shit out there.
Oh,
Uh,
there is, but
a lot of garbage,
you can
a lot of bad information.
you can separate yourself from the garbage quite easily.
Oh yeah, and I have. But yeah, I mean, I'll do some shows. I'm not really too keen on doing a lot of live shows just because I got a full schedule. I'm streaming just on I think Friday. I did like I want to say it was like a 16-hour day on streaming.
Uh-huh.
So that's taken a lot of my time.
Okay.
But once I get the following on Twitch, which I'll have soon, I'll get set on a normal schedule there. And then I'll do some YouTube stuff.
Okay. Cool. Could do more videos, Robin. I'm a subscriber to your channel, and I've only seen one video. Haven't seen any other ones. Might have to have her on sometime if she wants. It'd be interesting to hear how a Filipina's opinion on living in Australia, on what it's like. So, yeah, that's true. Just get a sidekick to keep an eye on the chat. Give them power to boot easy. Because I go on Popeye's channel sometimes, and I have power of moderator as well. So somebody says something, I kick them out, and Ken has some power too.
I get the like I don't know what is up right now. I don't know why I keep on dropping out, but it just happened right now. It never happened before. It could be because I'm mining at the same time too, and that's taking a lot of my CPU and my GPU. So it could be that. It could be that. But I usually keep an eye on the chat. I'm usually when I'm on a show, on a show. I'm usually very vigilant when I'm looking at the chat.
Okay.
I mean, because you when you're doing any type of live or any like when I'm streaming on Twitch, I'm always looking at my chat. I'm always interacting with them, and that's the same thing with YouTube. You have to interact with your audience, or you're not going to get a following, and you have to be consistent. And that's one thing where right now I can't be consistent on YouTube because I'm being very consistent on Twitch. And if you're in and out on YouTube or on any platform and you're not streaming, you're not going to get the following, and you're going to lose the following that you've had. And then they're not going to come back at all, because they're going to go, oh well, he's not consistent. I'm going to find somebody else.
The big thing is consistency.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, anyway, on that note, I guess we'll go ahead and close down the show. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's always a pleasure having you, and thanks for jumping on, Jason. We appreciate it.
No problem.
And we'll be doing the show. Thanks, man. We'll be doing our show regular time, Monday at 10 p.m. Philippines time next week. And I hope you guys tune in again. Thanks again. We appreciate you. Have a good one, everybody, and may the sun be shining wherever you may be.
See ya.
Yes, indeed.